You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nothing we do will ever be perfect. But somehow we still strive for perfection. Why is that?
Daily challenge, day 27.
There's this incredible amount of pressure that we keep putting on ourselves to be perfect. And it's not something that we were actually born with. It's something we learned. It's something we grew up and saw other people trying to be. And it's something that we were actually taught that we should strive for. I just shot an entire video and I feel like I completely missed the mark on what I actually wanted to say. And it's like I have this issue with being perfect. And sometimes it's sometimes the way it comes out is that I don't even know that it's me, it's my perfectionism that it's being triggered. And let me give myself some credit here because I've actually improved a lot when it comes to getting over perfectionism. Because normally, something like what I've been doing for the past 27 days, making a video every single day, normally one video would take a whole week or more because of how particular I would be. And I realized that it doesn't need to be. And perfectionism is only holding me back from actually achieving the things that I want to achieve. And when I start looking at it that way, it's like this extra curtain in the back doesn't make any sense. What is it adding? Is it adding something to, is it going to make anything better? Probably not. So why am I stressing over it? And it's like, I've learned to see these things more often, but sometimes it's like they're so sly, they just go right over my head. And then at the end of it, I'm just like, oh, wow, I was actually being very, very, I was being a perfectionist. And when I realized that in that moment, I'm just like, okay. I fell for it. It's okay. It happens. It's something that I was taught growing up where it's like, hey, if you're not perfect, then you basically won't come out to anything in life. That's kind of the gist of what it was. Because the saying, practice makes perfect, that is something that has been with me my entire life. And honestly, it's not true because practice makes progress. Practice allows me to improve on the things that I want to improve on. And when I start looking at it as when I practice this, then I'm going to be perfect at it, it's a false goal because nothing in life is perfect. Everything has its imperfections. Even nature has its imperfections, down to the fractal designs where it's just like, hey, it should be this way to make it perfect, but it's like it's gone off into another way. So it's like the goal that we have to make everything perfect, it's an endless goal because nothing is going to ever be perfect. And I'm not saying this to like discourage you into not doing what you want to do, how you want to do it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you're working on something, don't get caught up in all the small, minute details so much that you lose yourself in the process or you lose the goal in the process of what you're actually doing. You can simplify things. You can simplify anything. You can simplify everything. And I've learned that simplifying things kind of doesn't take one day. It doesn't take a few hours. For me, the max is like, well, for me, the sweet spot is 3 days. So when I look at it that way, I realize that my first idea will be very complex. But the more I sit with it, sit with the idea, the more it's going to actually simplify itself. And that's what I'm learning to do a lot more. That is one of the reasons why I'm like, I'm not a perfectionist anymore, because I don't see the point in making something completely perfect. It will never be perfect, because even when I think it's perfect at that moment, whenever I go back to it, it's like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? So it's like, in this moment, I'm giving 100% of me. And if later on it didn't seem like 100%, then later on I'm looking at it from a different perspective, a different me. So it's like, I can't be too hard on myself when I want to perfect things. And it's like, that is one of the things I have to learn to undo, to unprogram from myself, because nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. The illusion of perfection is just that. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. Embracing imperfections have taught me that life, in all its fractal designs and all its imperfections and all its chaos, is beautiful for what it is, for being chaotic, for being unpredictable. That's what it means to embrace the imperfections, because when I realize that I'm trying to be perfect in certain things, it's like I'm anticipating all the things that could go wrong and trying to fix them before they actually do go wrong. But it's like, yes, that's a good thing to have, but at the same time, if it's going to go wrong and things are going to break and you're going to make mistakes, then it's going to happen, because mistakes are lessons. Mistakes are the stumbling blocks that we need to stumble over in order to learn what we're learning. And I can easily forget that. We're always going to want to strive to become better and do things better. But it's in the moments where we realize that, hey, that went so wrong, and we can actually laugh about it and not let it get us down. Those are the moments where we learn what we need to learn quickly, because we don't allow ourselves to get caught up in the emotions of everything, where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened, and this has to go this way, and oh my gosh, I have to control all the situation to make this happen. It's just like, no, you don't have to. You don't have to. It's a part of being a perfectionism. A perfectionist. A perfectionism. Life isn't perfect, so I'm not going to waste my time trying to be perfect, because it's never going to happen.